Hello, guys, and welcome to the Irish Sports Fans Podcast, a podcast chatting to Irish athletes all around the globe on their sporting experiences and plans for the future. It's been 2 years since the episode with Mark Downey, Alice Sharp, and Connor Ferguson. In this episode, we chat to Irish swimmer Daniel Wiffen on his experiences in Tokyo and his future plans for the next Olympics. So, hope you enjoy the show. Alright guys, so the next guest shaved 13 seconds off an 800-meter freestyle swimming record at Tokyo. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Daniel Wiffen. I'm an Irish Olympic swimmer. Yeah.
Okay, so Daniel does the 800-meter freestyle and the 1500-meter freestyle. Daniel, you're also a student studying computer science at Loughborough. Do you want to take me through kind of your training / uni day and what that entails?
Yes. So we'll take a Monday, for example, today.
Yeah.
I wake up at 5:45 in the morning. Grab some cereal, breakfast, whatever, and then I'll walk to the pool, which is like 10-minute walk. And then I'll do some stretching, whatever, and then we start training at 6:45. And then train for 2 hours, probably get around 7K done. And then I'll have hot, and I'll get out, and then I'll go straight to the gym for an hour and a half session. And that'll bring us up to about 10:30. And then I'll come back, probably lie down for a bit, give like a half an hour nap, maybe, and then I'll I'll have lunch, and then we're back at the pool. I've got a lecture probably then as well, and then I got back at the pool at 6 p.m. and to 6 till 8, another probably 7-8K session, and then that's my day basically. I go to bed and I do it all over again.
And that's Monday to Friday.
Yeah, well, Saturday just a single, but yeah.
Just a single on Saturday, so not too stressful, even though all that training and on during the week must take an incredible toll on your body. So that's after Tokyo. Was it any different before Tokyo? I presume a lot more intense.
Well, I mean, we still do the same amount of training. I say we're probably doing more meters now at the moment than right before we went to the Olympics, but I mean, our training times were a lot better last year because of COVID. There wasn't really much else to do, so we could move them back a bit, so we don't have to wake up as early. But now we're back up on the early sessions.
Okay, yeah, because the first thing you said was 5:45 start. My body kind of shivered when I heard that. That's a great going, and you said 7K, like. I've heard of obviously middle distance runners on track. They, similar distance, 800, 1500, and they do the extra Ks, 6-7Ks. What's it like, say 5K, 6K in on your body, and you know that you've only got 1K left, but you're kind of aching, or do you ache? Are you just like superhuman cardio?
I'm used to it at the moment. I'm definitely used to over the years doing 7K. I don't ache. I mean, I've got like 7 other guys doing it with me, so I mean it's pretty easy because you're doing it with other people, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I went to my local swimming pool. I think I did 4 laps and I was gassed, or 4 lengths and I was gassed. So just to hear that is mad. Let's talk about your experiences at Tokyo. Obviously, your first time going to the Olympics, which is an incredible achievement. Am I correct there? Yes. First time going to the Olympics. Yeah. And the other scary thing is you're 2001, so you're 20. So very bright future. How are you feeling getting on that plane? Like, say the week before Tokyo, how was your mindset?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I mean, I'd already qualified like 2 months before that, so I was already processing in my head 2 months before what was going to happen, and if anything, I planned if anything to go wrong as well, just in case. And yeah, the week before was pretty hectic though because there were some people on the team, and then if they weren't sure if we're going to get on, they got on. So it was quite good because that meant it was more of us going. And then we had our photo shoots and our kitting out day, which was all a bunch of enjoyment stuff like that. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, sounds like a really really interesting process. Um, so give us an insight into like the Olympic Village and just like general lifestyle. Obviously, you couldn't enjoy the lifestyle too much until your events were finished, I presume.
Yeah.
But what's Tokyo like? What do you guys get up to before your events and after your events?
Huh. So you fly into the Tokyo airport, and then we go straight out of the airport, 2 hour drive to Fukuroi, where it's a team island holding camp. And we stayed there. It's like a really traditional Japanese like village, and the Japanese buildings, pretty cool. And then we stayed there for a night, the four of us, me, Shane, Dara, and Mona. And then the next day we went to an R holding camp, which is in Hamamatsu. It's just an hour away from that, then again, which is closer to the 50-meter pool. And then we're there for like 10 days. And we trained, we was doing our race prep work, getting ready for the big day. And then we got a 3 hour bus journey to the village where I suppose the last half an hour of that journey, you're just going through Tokyo and seeing all the buildings, but hardly any people because of COVID, which
Yeah.
is kind of surreal to see so little people in Tokyo. And then then we if some weird stuff happened, like we'd wait an hour on the bus till they let us into the village, and then got accreditation and got our suitcases put into a van, and then we got drove through the village on a small bus, and it's just surreal going through there with all the high-rise buildings and all the team country flags. Pretty cool. And then that was when it started getting real when we got in the village, and it was just pretty amazing to see so many Olympians. And like, not even that, I mean, I thought I was like kind of tall, being like 6'4", and then
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm probably one of the smallest in the village, just being there.
That makes me feel awful at 6 foot. But yeah, that alone, like at 20, is just sounds like an incredible experience. And like, could you describe? Obviously, it's kind of tough with no spectators in COVID. Touch wood, it'll be not too bad, or relatively lifted by the time Paris comes along. What was the opening ceremony like? Did you still get that kind of insane buzz and atmosphere walking out into the stadium?
Yeah, sadly, swimmers aren't allowed to go to the opening ceremony. There's always been a rule.
Okay.
Because because our event's first, so we never get to walk around. You want to save us for our races. Bit gutted, didn't get to go, but I got to see the fireworks, and I also got to see the stadium later on as well, which is one of the biggest stadiums that I've ever been to.
Oh, okay. That's a new one for me. I didn't know that. So you guys are literally in the village, and you've got to set your mind straight away. So take that question again, but maybe apply it to walking into the aquatic center and your name being called out and you're walking out to your lane. So you remember that kind of adrenaline and how you were feeling before your first race?
Yeah, definitely. So my first race was the 800 freestyle, and I remember the day. It was all building up to it. I think I was the last Irish person to come to make their debut, I believe. So I'd already watched everybody else do it, and it was pretty good. I walked down to the call room with the Irish coach Steve back a leg. I was shaking, I was so nervous. He walked down with me, gave me some words, just to set my head straight. Sat in the call room, did my normal routine, going through all the call rooms. Then walking out, I was told to take a deep breath and look up and take in the crowd. What was a crowd? Walked out and it was amazing. I was shaking the whole time I was walking out. It was kind of weird. I've never been that nervous in my life.
Yeah.
And then, I just got on with my race. I mean, I think it may have affected my race slightly, just walking out into the stadium, not really expecting such a big arena. But even though I had looked at it every day of it, but it was still different on that day. But yeah, I still came out with a PB, so I was happy that race.
A PB, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was the record went, didn't it?
Yeah, it was my record before that because I broke it.
Okay, so that's even more big of a flex from trial. So you've knocked time off your PB, and then you've kind of knocked a significant time off your record as well, which is an incredible achievement. So 800 meters in the swimming pool is a long time. Talk me through how your mind is, what you're processing and what you see at 500 600 meters, because obviously in running you can look around, you can see where your opponents are. What in a pool, do you have any idea? Can you have lines? What are you judging off?
We have a race plan that we put together. Everybody kind of splits it into 4 200s and 800s. So you'll have first 200 pretty steady. Just try not to overwork, otherwise you'll pay for it in the back end. And then you just build it through. And then the last 200s where you got to put yourself in a position to win. And then last 50, you got to bring it home with the legs. That's what And also mention I won my heat as well, which I was very happy to do. When you heat in Olympic Games is something not many people can do. So I was pretty happy to do that.
Huge achievement. But is it, obviously you've won your heat, but do you think it's a fair process that you've actually won your heat? You've beaten 7 other swimmers, you've done a PB and you've broken your own record, but they're taking the times for the final for the top 8, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So 14th overall, which is an incredible achievement. Just remind people that you're 20, which is ridiculous. But is there maybe a slight disappointment that you've won your heat, but I can't progress? You think that's maybe an unfair process, that there should be some sort of winners race, or what would you, if you could restructure it, would you?
Okay. So yeah, in the shorter events, 200 and below, they have a semi-final for top 16. I mean, personally, I don't think they should have. I think top 8 is fine. 800 is quite a long way to swim twice, and I think
true.
8 people will be enough to do that. I mean, I can't really say I was gutted that I didn't make the final. That was a goal. Didn't meet the goal. One of my best friends is in the final, who I train with. I got to watch him in it as well. But yeah, I mean, I was happy either way with my result. 14th place. I mean, top 16 at the Olympics is really good. I think it's one of the, I can't know, maybe, I'm not sure if any, definitely one male, I think in particular, has got higher than that in Olympics, maybe Andrew Bray. But that's in swimming, sorry. I think and then I think that ranked me I think I was the best male swimmer then ranked in Ireland then, I think, after that race as well.
Yeah, which is taking it away from it is an incredible achievement. 14th overall. And then take me through how you felt. Did you compete in the 1500 at the Olympics?
Yeah, straight after. 3 days after that, I think.
3 days after. So take me through your recovery from the 800 and then how you set yourself for the 1500.
Yeah, so I did that race. Everybody else had finished, I think, as well. Or most people have finished racing then as well. So I was one of the last people. Luckily, I had great teammates, especially Jack, who I was sharing a room with, McMillan, keeping quiet for me to make sure I do better in the 15. Because I know I don't want to sound like I don't know, but I disappointed sometimes with racing that I obviously didn't progress, and I wanted to try uh, make sure that I left no regrets in the pool after my 1500. So I made sure I did everything possible before the 1500 to make sure I'd have the best race I could have. And yeah, I believe I had a really good race. I think I knocked off 10 seconds off my record and my PB. So in that race as well.
Yeah, I've got it up here. 15 minutes, 16.9 for the 1500, so 2021.
But that was that was my PB before going in, and then when I went and then at the Olympics I went 15:07.
15:07. Okay, so you've broken your PB, and then you've taken that record as well. You already had it, so you shaved 7 seconds off your own personal record. So 2 national records at the Olympics. That's pretty good going. So fair play for that. So we'll talk about we'll go to future plans and goals. But let's go back.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the past first. One of the questions we can merge this in. One of the questions we had on Instagram was, how did you get into swimming? Like, you remember your first race, or how did you get into swimming as a kid?
Yeah, so I got into swimming. I should also say that I'm doing online talks at the moment just about this topic. So if people want to get involved, they can contact me on how to do it. But
yeah, and I'll drop those. Sorry to cut you off. I'll drop those on the YouTube bio, Spotify notes, and Instagram page. So if people want to check them out, obviously you send them to me after, and then I'll drop those on. So continue. Sorry.
So I started swimming. I've been swimming since I did like water babies and stuff like that when I was like 20, when I was just born, like 3 months. But started competitive swimming when I was like 11, I think. Got into it because my older brother went to a schools gala with my secondary school, and then my parents were like, you should try it too, competitive swimming. So I got into that through him, I guess. He was my main reason why I started swimming. And then my first race, I don't really remember my first race per se, but my first 1500 I remember exactly because it was put in the paper as I got disqualified for falling in before the whistle.
Oh, no.
The race. And that was also one of the only times I've been beaten by my twin brother.
There it is. I was wondering when you were going to get that one in. And so that must have been the kind of, because that was something I was going to talk about in the past as well, was your brother is an elite. I've read that your brother is an elite swimmer as well. How is that rivalry growing up? Because you're in every age category together. I presume you're in the same. Obviously, as you're twins, you're going to be in the same one. You're in the same disciplines, I presume. Do you see the same ones?
No. I mean, we used to so Nathan's a backstroker. I'm a freestyler. I mean, he does distance free as well, but I mean, he just trains backstroke, to be honest. And he my parents didn't really want us to do the same event because it kind of get a bit could get a bit nasty, I guess. But we obviously we race each other in like IMs, individual medley, stuff like that, where I think I've won more times overall, but I'm pretty sure it's very close. So we raced recently, actually, like a month ago, and it was like a couple hundredths of a second difference.
And did you get the win over him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Oh,
luckily,
okay.
I'm the
Okay.
older twin.
Oh, right. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So bit off
Yeah.
back to the past. So first race at 11 disqualified. Your only time you were beaten by one of the only times you were beaten by your twin Nathan.
Yeah.
So how did it progress into this kind of elite level as you go through your teens?
I so started like off, wasn't that great at swimmer. I was okay. I'd like get finals in my age group in Irish age group champs. And then I think around 2015, 2016, I like kind of stepped up a bit. I won my age group in like the distance events, and then I made the national squad. And and then I also think came fifth at like Open Olympic trials in 2016. So that's pretty good for like me being 15. And then I think I also
Yeah,
got my first Irish title then in 2017 when I was 16. And then I just kind of built up and built up. And then until 2018, where I went down, had a bad year, but then came back again in 2019 and did really well. I went to my first, went to World Juniors and stuff like that for Ireland. And then it just went up and up and up from there.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, I mean, fifth in any national race, regardless of the discipline, at 15 is incredible. Is that when it kind of hit you, maybe 15, 16, when you won the first one at 16? Was that when it hit you that you're like, okay, I've got a real talent here, let's make something out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I still was like doing other sports then. I never really focused down on swimming. I was like just doing one sport until I was like 2017 maybe. Uh, but yeah, definitely made me just want to focus on swimming because that was what I was best at, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So what, just out of curiosity, what other sports did you play?
Like literally every sport, Gaelic, hurling, basketball. What
Yeah.
else did I play? Uh, I think I did football as well, normal football, soccer. Yeah, that
Yes.
was it.
Well, just a natural
I
sports
mean, I'm
person then.
absolutely terrible at football, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. You're not too bad at swimming, so it makes up for it. Um, so we've gone back to the past. We've talked about achievements at Tokyo. Let's talk about the future and the goals, especially Paris. So what are the goals for Paris if you can cast your mind up far forward, or even short-term goals in the next year?
Yeah. This year, we'll see. This like we'll road to Paris. Paris, obviously, to qualify for the next Olympics would be great. And then this year, I guess I got Commonwealth Games. I'd like to final get a medal. That'd be great. That'd be amazing. Sorry. And then just building it up each year. I got my first world champs in a month in 4 weeks. So see how well doing that as well. That'll be good.
Okay, so world champs in a month. Where's that on?
It's in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Okay, that's just around the corner. Um, any what's the plan for any goals for that one then? If you could say come out of the pool and I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with personal best and
Yeah, of
get close to
course.
getting a final, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You can never be disappointed with a PB, and of course, a PB for you anytime is another national record.
Yeah.
Um, so that's just another achievement to add to the CV. So they're the future goals. Let's just run through a good few questions from the public on Instagram. So we've merged how you got into swimming into that a little bit there. So did you have a hero growing up? Be it swimming or just a sports icon?
Swimming hero. I didn't really have one when I was younger, I suppose. when I got more invested in the sport. I really liked Matt Horton. You probably won't know who that is, but he was like a Olympic gold medalist in Rio. Yeah, he was my a lot of time. Now, also, I've still got a hero now to this day. I'm a big fan of Kyle Chalmers and a big fan of Grant Hackett, also swimmers, Olympic champions as well.
Okay, well, hopefully that person got the answer they're looking for. And then we have a couple more. A piece of advice for a young swimmer. I just don't know how old this swimmer is, but just to say young swimmer, up and coming.
Okay. I'd say always, so up and coming, I always have a plan. I always plan out, I guess, your year and have some goals, because then you know where you're going, you know what you're aiming for. I was going to say, make sure you have fun while you swim. I know more people see it as, I know at the moment, I love swimming at the moment, especially because I'm in such a good group with guys that I can just train with all the time and see them outside the pool and still have fun. Having fun's big and like really important. And yeah, I guess there's two messages I give to younger swimmers.
Okay, so the last one before we wrap up, this obviously came in from a university student or someone that's about to go to university. So 3 things for a balance at university whilst doing a sport. And I'm not sure the level of this person. They could be really high level. They could just be, playing local sport, recreational sport.
Yeah, uni before sport always. I learned that out the hard way last year, where I had to do my exams after the Olympics because I did not work hard enough before the Olympics.
Just want to say that is like one of the most incredible excuses I've heard when it comes to university work. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hand in my assignment. I was at the Olympics. I mean, we'll take that one. So uni before sport.
Yeah. Also, like plan comes in everywhere, to be honest. Have a plan of like your week of when you're gonna fit lectures in, and when you're gonna fit your training in, and like also you need downtime as well, so you fit all that in together. And then also you need to like just, I know for me, like I love to get out. I've got friends who don't do the same sport as me, but they still do sports. So like you get out of your own sport in uni or school, I guess, and mix with other groups. That's a big like a big factor for me.
Yeah, definitely. So three gems there. So they're the questions from Instagram. We're coming up on the half an hour mark. You touched on your online talks. You want to quickly plug that into a little more detail, and obviously I'll link everything on our socials on this side.
Yeah, so if you go if you email Swim Island, they'll put you in touch with like ways to book me in to go for a talk. And basically I just do a PowerPoint show of my life, and then I'll answer questions. You can ask me in person on like Zoom, I guess. And yeah, I'll probably do some in person ones when I get back to Ireland in the holidays. So if you want to hit up someone an email to book some in.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think that last half an hour alone would be reason enough, like for any young Irish athlete to eat, not even in swimming, just for experience alone. Obviously, if they're a swimmer, it'd be a lot more beneficial. But yeah, I mean, 20 years old, incredible achievements. Thanks for coming on, Daniel. All the best for the future. Definitely going to be hearing more of you. And yeah, cheers for coming on, and best of luck with the World Champs in Abu Dhabi in a month.
Thank you very much for having me. It was great.
Daniel Wiffen there on his recent Irish record-breaking summer and plans for the future. Daniel is in the pool on the 20th of December. This episode goes out on the 19th, so make sure to listen out for his result. In terms of the amount of times I said incredible achievement, can't underestimate how much Daniel has done by the time he's 20, born in 2001. It's just mind-blowing. I know I said it a lot, but it just goes to show that this athlete is one for the future and one for future Olympics, especially. In terms of what I talked about, Swim Ireland ambassadors, if you want to get in touch, DM this page, or maybe even DM Daniel. He's quite good in his socials if you want to get any information on that. And tune in next week when we'll be talking to some winter sports athletes, hopefully. You might learn about a new sport, some very interesting guests coming on. So thanks for listening, and make sure to click the subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, etc. And I'll see you next week.